Welcome to the Texas Card House, Rio Grande Valley, as we get ready for tonight's stream. Actually, this is hand number 2 of tonight's stream. Looks like Don Neto with the ace 4. Big Fish calling him with the jack 9. And Presa calls out of. No, he folded. All right, so just getting settled in here. Thank you for joining us on this Wednesday night as we go heads up to a flop. This is hand number 2 from the Texas Card House, Rio Grande Valley. Don Neto will be first to act. Oh, and Big Fish flopping a pair and a straight draw. Neto, your initial razor pre-flop. He will check behind. It goes check, check. Board pairing on the turn. Once again, check, check. And a deuce on the river. Is any money going to go into this pot post-flop? And it does not. So Don Neto raising the second hand with ace-4 offsuit. You can see he is your winner so far, as he was the winner of the first hand. Big Fish making a little back, but like I said, we're just getting started here. I'd like to thank everybody who joined us. We got a couple of new people playing on the stream tonight. Seat 4 there, I know it's his first time on the stream, Celso. And then we got Zepeda in seat 1. I believe it's his first time playing as well, and Presa in seat 2. Everybody buying in for 300 with the exception of Don Neto. Don Neto in for 450. Straddle on, as we do have seat 7 just sitting down. Action will be on Don Neto. Has won the first hand, raised the second hand, and he's coming in again here. $6. He will make the call. I'm not sure if Don Neto's cards got scanned right. Let's see if the dealer tells him to rescan his cards. And nobody. So Celso makes the $6 call, and Everin looks like he's going to raise his big blind. It's going to be a $35 raise. I think he's going to get a call from at least one of these players. So seat 7 making the call. I'm not sure what name he'll be using tonight. And Celso will make the fold. So heads up to a flop we go. Edvin, it's showing that he won the hand, but that's because seat 7 isn't inputted into the system yet. And I think that's what they're going to work on right now. Getting seat 7 into the system. Yeah, so that's what the little delay is here, as they are inputting seat 7's information. We try to start as close to 6 as possible, and we had 6 players here ready to go, so we started. This is the third hand, and seat 7 showing up a little bit late. So that's what the delay is here, as they are inputting seat 7's information in. The flop is out, still with the mystery hand there. Like I'm saying, so yeah, it's showing that seat 6 won the hand because it did not show anybody in seat 7. But as you can see, somebody is in seat 7. And let's see if they go to showdown here so we can see exactly what seat 7 has there, as Everin will be putting on the C-bet on the flop and now betting again on the turn. Looks to be about a $65 bet. It's going to be a $70 bet. And looks like a 9 on the turn. And looks like he's going with it here. So Everin with the queen jack, we know that hand for sure. I did not see the flop. And the reason why the flop isn't coming out on the graphics is because seat 7 was not input in the system. We'll see if seat 7 shows. And looks like he's not. So comes in for the straddle. There you go. So Everin really did not have anything to call with there, as he had queen jack. The flop was 3-3-6, 9 coming on the turn. And they will get in seat 7's information there before we move on to the next hand. So the high hand is going on right now, as it goes on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And looks like Everin is going to be added on 300. So I know Everin lost a hand earlier, which I believe was the first hand that Don Neto won. So that got him a little short. And then this last hand, where he raised pre-flop with the queen jack offsuit, bet the flop on a paired board, and then bet the turn. So they're just making sure that all the information in the system is right, because there we go. So we got Oscar in seat 7. So he won a $139 pot there. So half of that was his money. So Everin losing, no, Everin actually losing more than 70, because he bet 70 on the turn, I know. And Everin raised it 35 pre-flop. So that's 105 right there that Everin lost. And I know there was a C-bet on the flop. So Everin losing about half his stack on that hand, and he is rebuying. But now we got everything set. And action will be under the gun on Don Neto, as he has the king 9 offsuit. I think he's going to be limping here. King 9, also known as the dog, the K9. And he's actually going to raise it here. King 9 offsuit, big fish, immediately calling behind with the ace 5 of clubs. Celso with the 8-5 of hearts. And let's see what the big blind does here. King Jack should be calling. Might put on the squeeze play. No, just going to be calling here. So we're going to go 4 ways to the flop, as we have $61 in the middle. The ace 5 right now in the lead. And Oscar going to be flopping top pair. So top pair 2 hearts. Top pair versus the flush draw. And it's Don Neto continuing on. He's flopping middle pair. So more money going to be going into this pot, as Oscar has top pair, Celso with the flush draw. And he makes the call of the $20. So over $120 in the middle. Celso looking for a heart. Don Neto does not want to see a king. Oh, it's going to be a jack. So Oscar checking on the flop. Once again, checking on the turn, hoping somebody bets. And Celso's going to be taking the bait, as he does have a flush draw. And looks like he's going to be betting about 55 here. Looks like 60, so no, he bets 50. So Oscar's calling for sure. Does he raise? I kind of like to see a raise here, just because there's a flush draw and a straight draw out there. Needs to make it at least 150, I would say. Probably 200's the better number. It looks like it's going to be 150. And Celso with the immediate fold. He did have a 8-high flush draw, which might have contributed to that. I think if his flush draw was a little bit higher, or if he had like a 10, which gave him opportunities for a straight. So Oscar getting here late, winning the first hand, the mystery hand, and now winning this hand, and he's up over $200, almost $300, buying in for $500. Now has $775 in his stack. So like I said, we have 3 players on the stream who I believe it's their first time. And if you would like to get on the stream as well, then you can send us an email at rgvlive@texascardhouse.com. Once again, that's rgvlive@texascardhouse.com. $6 straddle announce coming from under the gun, big fish. Action will be on seat 1, Zepeda. Ace-8 of clubs. He's calling for sure. Does he raise? I think he's just calling just because first time on the stream, still filling it out. You do see that happen a lot. Little fill out period. Jack-9 for Everin. Everybody limping in front of him, and he's going to limp as well since he's on the button. Oscar with the ace-9. Don Neto completes, and Big Fish will check his option as we have a family pot. So 7 ways to a flop. Everybody calling, and it's going to come jack high. Bressa flopping middle pair and an open ender. Everin flopping top and bottom pair. Big Fish flopping top pair, and he's going to lead out. Zepeda with a straight draw, getting a good price, calling to $20. He also has some backdoor flush draws. I think Everett's going to raise here, as he does have 2 pair, and that's what he's thinking about. It's a very wet board, and there's a lot of cards on the turn that he's not going to like. So he's trying to figure out if he should raise here, and that's exactly what he's going to do. Bumps it up to 100 straight. That should clear out Big Fish, and it's going to clear out, I think it's going to clear out Cepeda as well, and Bressa will make the call, I believe. Let's see what happens. I think Bressa's going to call. He does have middle pair with open-ended. A queen is also good for him, but he doesn't know that. Over $200 in the pot. And no, he folds. So nice play by Everin there. Flopping 2 pair on the wet board. And he will pick up the pot, and that almost gets him unstuck. We're only 6 hands in, so far 2 players in the green, the rest in the red. As I believe we have Chino in the box tonight. And we do have an under the gun straddle. So I believe this is Sabella's first time playing on the stream, but he's put it on the straddle, trying to build these pots. It is a 1-3 game. The minimum buy-in is 300. The minimum buy-in is 300. Most of the players came in for 300. Don Neto came in for 450, and Oscar coming in for 500. Everybody else in at 300, and we saw Everin add on earlier, and Everin with the kings. $26 raise up front, probably about $80. Should be a good size in here. He's going to make it 100. I think if he didn't have players left tack behind him, he would have sized it a little bit smaller, but he did have 2 players behind him. And an immediate fold from Presa. And yes, that is Chino in the box, as Everin does show the kings, letting them know that he had it. We are live on the YouTube chat. We are streaming on the secondary channel tonight. The main channel is known as TCH Live. The second channel is known as Texas Card House. So if you still have not subscribed to the secondary channel, known as Texas Card House, 3 different words, make sure you take care of that right now. And we got another straddle coming your way. So it's showing that action's on Presa, but he actually straddled. Don Neto on the button with the ace-jack. Should be raising here. It's $7 to call. And he's just going to call with the ace-jack on the button. Big Fish with the sixes. He's the one raising it. A little on the small side. Actually, don't mind the raise. Don't like the sizing just because you're going to be playing out of position. You kind of want to get some players to fold, but everybody makes the call. So Big Fish looking for a 6. Needs to avoid the ace, queen, jack. And he actually avoids everything somehow. And he's going to put in a continuation bet here. He does have the best hand. And looks like $30. So bet in half pot here. I think Don Neto's going to call. I don't think Presa's going to call. But Don Neto, he's not folding the ace-jack. And there's the call. So Neto looking for an ace-jack or a spade. A spade will give him a flush draw. And a 9. Does Big Fish continue or put Neto on a 10? No, Big Fish is going to check. And the river comes a 9. Let's see if Big Fish puts out a bet here. No, it's going to go check, check. And he will take down the pot. Kind of wanted to see a bet for him there on the river. I think he lost some value as Neto was going to be calling with the ace high. It was a double paired board, 9s and 5s. He would have called at least 25, I would imagine. As I said, we are live on the YouTube chat. Action will be on Celso with the 5-6. That should go into the muck. Evren will be in the low jack with the pocket 8s. And looks like he's going to be raising the 20. Little on the big side. Thought it might be 15. But he does pick up a call from the suited queen of Don Neto. Cepeda also going to be calling out of the small blind. And Presa will make the fold as we go 3 ways to the flop. Pocket 8s out in front right now. Action will be on the king, queen of Cepeda. Ace high on the flop. That's probably going to freeze the action. I think it's going to go check around. No, Everett going to represent it. Everett actually put out a really small bet. Trying to get some information there. Basically, if anybody calls his bet, he was going to shut down. But he puts out the $20 bet in about a third of the pot. Figured if anybody called, they had an ace and he would have shut down, but nobody called and he took down the pot. So raise first in stat. We're only 9 hands in, so normally when we get to about the 20 hand mark, that's when we'll really start paying attention to the stats, as right now the sample size is just a bit too small. Action will be on Edvin. He's got the 4-3 of clubs. Pretty hand, not sure if he'll call under the gun though. No, he's not. If he was on the button, I'm sure he would have called. But he had too many players left tack behind him. Big Fish raising with the 3-deuce offsuit. And he's going to get heads up with Presa here. Is he betting dark? I think Big Fish is betting dark here. Yeah, he bet dark. Big Fish does a lot of unconventional things. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. He raised 15 with the 3-deuce from the cutoff. Presa checked dark. So he said, well, if you're going to check dark, I'm going to bet dark. And Presa with the nice move there, raising him. So nice move there by him. He figured, let me raise here, and if he has a queen, he'll call. But if he doesn't have a queen, he's going to fold everything else. And he was correct. $6 under the gun straddle. Coming from Oscar. Once again, if you're just joining us, we are streaming on the secondary channel for Texas Card House. The main channel is TCH Live. This is Texas Card House, 3 different words. If you're not subscribed to this channel, make sure you take care of that. And if you are subscribed, make sure you hit that like button. It really helps us out. Small raise coming from Big Fish. He just raised 15 the previous pot with 3 deuce offsuit. Now he's raising 15 with pocket 9s. There was no straddle on the previous pot, and there is a straddle on here. Everin should be putting on the 3-bet here, as the pocket 10s of Celso just called the raise. And this is a good spot for Everin to put in at least 65, maybe 75. It's going to be 80. So he did size it up since he's out of the blind. He's going to be out of position. And now Big Fish just rips it. And now Celso's all, well, what do I do? So he knows that they have overcards on him. And I think if he was heads up, he would have snap called already. But he is afraid that somebody has a bigger pocket pair than him when it's actually him that has the bigger pocket pair. I think he's going to fold, and I don't blame him. Because you have 2 players that are essentially showing major aggression towards this pot. Everin does make the call. Let's see if the 10s would have won. Let's see if they're going once or twice. 2 clubs. Jack high. So far the 9s are good. 6 of diamonds. So Big Fish needed to avoid an ace or a queen, and it's going to be the queen. So Celso, I think he thought that he made the right fold when he made the right fold, and if you're being results oriented, well, then for sure he made the right fold because he would have lost the hand. So Big Fish losing the flip to Everin, and he is immediately back in. Looks like he's coming in for 6. He's coming in for 6, so bought him for 3. And now he is doubling his buy-in. All right, while they get that taken care of, I'd like to remind you about the big tournament going on this weekend. It started on Monday. It's going on right now. It'll continue on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And the final day is going to be on Sunday, this Sunday the 30th. It's $25,000 prize pool guaranteed. The buy-in's only $100. Now, as of right now, there is a projected overlay. There's a projected overlay which adds value to the players. So as of right now, there is a projected overlay for the $25,000 tournament. Keep in mind, it's only $100 to enter, $10,000 for first guaranteed. So Big Fish get into rebuy taken care of. Maria the chip runner tonight. Don Neto coming in for the limp. Cepeda making it 13. And it looks like Everin's getting colored up. We'll trade out the reds for greens. And Everin has a hand to at least call with. And that's what he will do. The ace-8 suited. Oscar has the jack-9 offsuit, and Don Neto will make the call with 5 high. 5 ways to the flop, $65 in the middle. Action will be on Everin with the ace-8 of diamonds. And the initial raiser, Cepeda, raise it up to 13. He will flop top pair. Oscar flopping middle pair will probably call at least 1 bet, depending on how big it is. And I think the bet's going to be no more than 40. I think it's going to be somewhere between 30 and 40. Looks like it's going to be 40. Oh, it's 50. So we'll see if Oscar calls. No, yeah. I thought he would call a bet up to 40, and I think I was right because he did fold. So Zabella picking up his first pot. So once again, going on this weekend here at the Texas Card House, Rio Grande Valley, RGV. We are in South Texas. So if you are listening or know of somebody who lives in this area, make sure you tell them about this tournament, as there is a projected overlay. It's a $100 buy-in, $10,000 for first, $25K in the prize pool. The prize pool is guaranteed, and that's where the overlay comes in. As we have an under the gun straddle to big fish, and he straddled earlier to 6. He lost his buy-in, so now he's bumping up that straddle. It looks like to 9 or 10. Yeah, he's bumping it up to 10 now, trying to build bigger pots as he's trying to make back his money immediately. Everin with the ace should be raising here to at least 30, maybe 40. Normally he sizes bigger, so we'll say 40. And he makes it 30. But he is on the button, so that was the size in there. Big fish with the queen high. So what an overlay is, if you're not familiar with tournaments, the overlay is good for the players, bad for the club. So the prize pool is $25,000 guaranteed. And as I said, right now there is a projected overlay. So what that means is, however many entries enter, take for example, let's say if 200 people enter the tournament, which will put the prize pool at $20,000, because that's how much was brought in from the entry fees. All right, got another player sitting down. Looks like he's coming in for 500, maybe more than 500. So essentially, whatever was collected in entry fees on a normal tournament, that money gets paid back once the house takes their cut or whatever. So with the overlay, what that means is the number of people who enter the tournament, whatever they contributed to the prize pool is going to be less than what the guarantee is. So if there's 200 people that enter this tournament, that means that it was 20,000 that came in, but the prize pool's 25,000. So the club steps up and puts in that extra money. So it's actually more value for the players, as they're essentially putting less in the prize pool and winning more than they should. So real good value for the players. Obviously, Texas Card House, not ideal for them. King, queen, offsuit, nobody flopping anything. And right as I say that, I see the 5 of Zabella, but everybody's going to be scared of the king and the queen. And Oscar's going to put out a tiny bet here with the 4-3. It's not going to work. We'll see if he bets again on the turn. 9 get in there. And let's see if Oscar bluffs the river here. A bluff will work, as it will be very hard for the 5 to call, as the straight got there with the Jack-10. The 9 gets there, and it's going to be Cepeda the one doing the betting. Puts out the blocker bet. Oh, he bets over pot. There was $44 in there. He bets over pot. So nice play by him. So once again, overlay alert for the big one down here at Texas Card House RGV, as it looks like the money collected for the prize pool is going to be less than the guarantee. But like I said, since this is a guaranteed prize pool, doesn't affect the players. It's still going to be $10,000 for first place, even if the money collected is less. Is that a $7 straddle under the gun? All right, we got seat 5. I know he's played on the stream before. Let's see what name he's going by today. Don Neto calling the $7 on the button. Big Fish coming in with the 5-6. And Zepeda just calling with the ace-jack suited. It's kind of surprising there, as he just called out of the big blind with a big ace and a suited ace. Big Fish flopping a pair and a flush draw, but his flush draw is not good. Zepeda is he going to check again? Big Fish does not want to see a club. Okay, the 8 coming on the turn, and that's going to give Big Fish a straight draw to go along with his pair and flush draw. Puts out $20, and I believe Presa has an open-ended straight draw now. He has 9-10, right? Yeah, he has an open-ended straight draw, so he's coming along as well. And Don Neto has nothing, but he does have position. Oh, wait, he has top pair. Wow, everybody was something. Everybody was something here. And the turn coming to Jack. So Presa will river the nuts. 7, 8, 9, 10, Jack. The board is showing there's a 3 of clubs on the river, but that was a red jack that came on the river. And now Zepeda's going to put out a $20 bet with just ace high. He does not have a flush. That 3 of clubs is actually a red jack. And this is going to be a small raise coming from Presa here. Oh, and Don Neto's going to call with just the queen. Zepeda cannot call here. Big Fish disgusted that he lost that hand, but his clubs were not live. He thought his clubs were live. His clubs were not live. So he thinks he got unlucky there, and he actually got lucky by not hitting his clubs.
They check the flop. I have to call the turn.
Yeah, no, for sure. Not you played it good. Big Fish is just a big fish.
No, I slow played the flop. Slow played the flop, and then I bet on the turn.
We also have the high hand going on right now. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. $100 every hour with rollovers. Doors open at 9 a.m. every day here at the Texas Card House, Rio Grande Valley. And you start qualifying at 10 a.m.
Did the draft start already?
So the high hand going on right now,
I know.
and then it will go on, and then it would go on Sunday the next time.
The Pistons or Hawks, one of the two. A bunch of international talent, man. A bunch.
Don Neto just lost last hand. He's coming back in. Oh, he's raising to 27 with the 9-8, so a little tilting from the last spot. He had top pair. He thought he was good. And this is the hand. This is the player that beat him in that hand, so he'll have a chance to get immediate revenge. Heads up we go. The 9-8 somehow has 2 overcards to the 7s. 7 does have a diamond. Only 1 overcard. 7s might bet this. There's only 1 overcard to his pocket pair. He does bet 30. And Don Neto immediately folds.
It was perfect, bro. Dodgeball? Have you ever seen that movie? Oh, Dodgeball. Yeah. That's why we're laughing about the ESPN the Ultra.
What's the high hand right now? Is what they're asking me in the chat. I believe the high hand is up to $200, and I don't think there is a current. I don't think there's a current high hand. And the reason why is the high hand must be aces full of 10s or better to qualify. Then on top of that, the player must use both their hold cards. So I don't think anybody's qualified for the high hand right now, but I think it's $200. Before we went on the air, I know that that it was about to go up. So I believe it is 200.
We're not supposed to get money. Oh, he gets an S blind? I thought it was if he's on the stream, he gets posted.
Yeah, so for getting to DON the big blind, since this is a stream game, I believe this is the dealer's first time dealing a stream game. One of the things that's different is that it's kind of like a tournament where a player gets blinded out. In a normal cash game, this does not happen, but because of the stream with the software, this does happen. And looks like we have Ben in seat 5. He's going to be putting out a $6 straddle. But yes, the high hand is good until 11 o'clock tonight. It rolls over every hour, and something that I just learned myself is that it rolls over if there is a game going or not, which is kind of crazy. So doors open at 9 a.m., and they add $100 to the high hand every hour, even if there's a table or not. Big raise here by Don Neto, $50. There was a $6 under the gun straddle from Ben, and Don Neto has lost 2 straight hands, and he just kind of wants to take down a hand here as he puts out a big bet, hoping to take it down. I think it's going to be too much for Presa to call, although the last 2 hands that Neto has lost has been to Presa. He is thinking about it, and no, he will finally make the fold. And everybody making the fold, so Don Neto picking up the $6. Oh, wait, Ben? Has Ben thinking about calling here with 10 high? No, he's folding, right? Yeah, he's folding. So Don Neto picking up, I believe, $10. Yeah, $6 straddle plus the small and big blind. So Don Neto getting on the board. And you can see who's up and who's down so far. It's showing Big Fish is up, but I know he's in for 900, so he's actually down. I think when he rebought, everyone was rebuying or adding on at the same time or coloring up, and I think, yeah. So that's what happened. So they're showing Everin is losing 223, which actually is not correct. He won the flip from Big Fish, so something getting input it wrong, throwing off the numbers there. As Everin is under the gun with the Queen 9, will be making the fold. Oscar with the King Queen should be raising here, like to 15. 15 is a good number. Is it 25? Now he makes it 20, but Don Neto with the Kings right behind him. Oh, getting tricky with just the call. Big Fish with the 7. So Don Neto with the Kings just calling the raise, trapping here. And Ben with the ace, which is the card that Don Neto does not want to see on the flop. Ben has the ace, and he will come along. So 4 ways to the flop we go. Don Neto needs to avoid an ace or a 7. Oh, a king coming on the flop. Oscar's going to be losing some money here. How much does Don Neto have in his stack? Don Neto has 500 in his stack. Oscar's going to be losing at least 200 in this pot. He flops top pair. There is a flush draw out there, and he's making a big bet here, as it looks like he's betting 75 into 81. Almost a pot-sized bet. Neto with the king of spades as well might just call. It's showing he has 500, but he has a lot less than 500. So something a little bit off on the graphics. You can see he only has about another $200 behind this bet. And that $200 is going to go in on the turn. And Oscar's not going to be happy when he has to pay it off. Jack coming. That's not going to slow anything down. That actually gives Oscar some hope, as now a 10 will give him a straight. But all the money's going in here, whether or not Oscar bets it or Don Neto bets it. All the money's going in here. Neto has Less than 423. He has probably about 223 in his stack. Oscar betting 100. Don Neto going all in. The graphic showing 423, but he does have less. And Oscar does make the call. Oscar looking for a 10. There are 3 10s left. 1 10 has been folded. So Oscar with the 3 outer. So right at 9% to hit. It's going to be a deuce. And let's see if they zoom out here so we can get the count from Don Neto. Yeah, it's showing that it was 164 more for him to call. So yeah, he had 264, I believe.
Yesterday when I was here, Peter, first hand, flop, set of fours, into a set of tens. Money was in. So after that, I'm going home. It's like one hand, bro.
Damn, that was your first hand? Damn.
You know what happened? I was
Still have time to take advantage of the popularity contest.
I was
If you refer a new member, you have a chance of winning $1,000. This contest ends at the end of the month, so it does end, I believe, on Sunday.
my wife. She was next to me, and had aces. He was like, "Oh, I have sixes."
Under the gun straddle from Oscar, just losing last hand, doubling up Don Neto. Don Neto with the 7-3. It'll be $6 for him to come in. And you can see Oscar just is still shocked that Don Neto had pocket kings that hand. Don Neto with the 7-3. Going to be calling here. Big fish next to act. Throws it into the muck. Presa making the call with the suited jack. Celso also making the call on Ben, put it on the squeeze play with the suited connectors. The king 10 of diamonds. Everin is going to be calling for sure. He'll probably put in a 3-bet just because there's so many players behind him. He's in a real awkward spot here, and that's what he's thinking. Not necessarily a rock and a hard spot, but he is between a raise and some players behind him calling. So he does raise to clear out anybody behind him. He was afraid if he called the $40, everybody behind him would have called. So he wanted to have position on Ben. He won a big hand earlier here with the ace-queen. Everin making it 125. Ben having 40% of a royal flush. He might just call here. Doesn't like the situation. It's very rare for somebody to put out a 3-bet in lower stakes, like 1-2, 1-3, even 2-5. It's very rare, and it's 99% of the time. Well, that might be a little too high, but the majority of the time, it is a huge sign of strength, and that's why Ben made the fold. So the proper fold there is it showing that Big Fish is your big winner, but that's not the case, as he is in for 2 buy-ins. Don Neto, I think, is that about 500? 1, 2, 3. That's close to 5, so that's that on Don Neto, might be right. Looks like a button straddle from Ben. It'll be $6 to go. And action will start to the left of the straddle. To the left. It's going to be Everin with the ace-jack. $6 for him to call. Should be making the call here. Dealer reminded Neto that there's a $6 straddle, and Everin actually comes in for the raise. Looks like 25. It's 20. And Don Neto still calling with the king 10 suited. This time it's spades. Last time it was diamonds for Ben. This time Neto has it in its spades. And Ben will be defending his straddle with the king 8 offsuit. So ace-jack ahead right now. And Everin will be first to act as the flop will come out. 7 high, 2 hearts. Nobody with a heart. Everett with the Jack of Hearts. And Ben is going to take a stab at this pot. There's $63 in there. And Ben bet in at least 30 here. 35. So if everyone was heads up here, he would immediately make the call. A little worried about Don Neto. And Don Neto does make the fold. So everyone with the best hand right now looking for a heart to keep him in here. If he doesn't get a heart and Ben bets again, it's going to be hard for him to continue. But Ben does shut it down. Queen coming on the river. Does Ben bluff at this? No, Ben pretty much took a stab on the flop and pretty much gave up on the hand after that. As Everin will get the win. Strato coming from Big Fish. We saw him do this earlier, as he is currently in for 2 buy-ins, so he is putting on the Strato, trying to build some pots, try to make back his money. Sabella with the 9-7 makes the call. Bressa with the 3s. Going to be raising it up to 30. Oh, Ben with the aces. It's going to be a big raise from Ben here. Kind of wanted to see about $80. But looks like Ben is sizing it up. Making it 140. I don't think Bressa can call it. Too big of a raise. Ben getting a little greedy here. And right as I say that, Big Fish with the ace-king. I think Big Fish might just rip it here. Yeah, Big Fish ripping it here. And Big Fish is not gonna be happy. So Ben, I know he has played under the name Jagger before, and he got Jagger racing on the side of his hat. I'm assuming that has to do with horse racing.
PD runs pretty bad, so probably, yeah.
And Ben going to be making the immediate call here. Ace-king into aces.
You want to get my card or no? No? What do I have?
I think you have
So Big Fish needs a lot of help. Oh, spades? Spades? All right, this is the best flop he can hope for. Big Fish needs a spade for the win. Oh, it was a black card. It was a black card. He needs another black card. It's a red card. So any queen makes a straight there. Very vulnerable hand for Ben. But all the money went in pre-flop, so really doesn't matter how the board runs out if all the money's in pre-flop. And Ben will get the double up as we're 21 hands in. Here's the VPIP. Don Neto. Not surprising. He's in at 70%. Ben, he did get here late, so it's only taking into account 8 hands. And one of those hands was aces, so he's at 50%. Big Fish been here since the start, 47%. Everin 45.
6, 7 of spades.
And Oscar at the bottom at 29%.
That's always the hand that wins.
Nah, bucket 3.
Oh, yeah. So
Did you have a spade?
No, I can't remember.
No, I don't think so. Maybe. Get 1 club. And
Yeah, so another big pot not going Big Fish's way. And it looks like Big Fish is going to be emptying out the wallet. So even if Big Fish would have just called the 3-bet pre-flop, all the money probably would have gone in on the flop anyway. And looks like we got another 400 coming from Big Fish. 500? So Big Fish in for 1,400 tonight. 21 hands into the stream. So I'm sure, as everybody is aware, World Series of Poker going on right now. And I will actually not be here
What did I have?
for at least a week, probably 2 weeks, as I will be heading out to the poker summer camp known as the World Series of Poker. I am leaving you in good hands, as the Cajun Asian will be behind the mic. We'll be doing the commentating. John Dre. John Dre actually won last Friday's free roll. He was in for only $20, and there I go again, calling it a free roll. It's not a free roll. He won the $20 tournament last Friday night for over $700. Did not rebuy, did not add on. Was in just for the $20. So congratulations to John Dre. And for you players in the tournament, he won't be playing on Friday because I won't be here. So John Dre will be doing the commentating on Friday. So one less player you have to worry about.
You know why you lost that hand? You didn't tell me you didn't message you. I put, okay, I love you, and you put, okay.
All right, looks like we got the final seat filled up,
Yeah.
as we will be going 4 ways to a flop. King, Jack, 3, 2 hearts. Nobody has hearts. Nobody has a king. So the Jack 10 out in front right now. Let's see if the Jack 10 finally bets. No, he's going to check it again, and it's going to go check all the way to the river. A river of 5. So Jack 10. Sislo going to be taking the win. It's a decent pot, $100 pot. Oh, he finally puts out the bet. Nobody has anything to call him with. The 8-5 of Ben might get curious, and Ben does get curious. And as they say, curiosity kills the cat. So the $173 pot going to Sislo. And we have our final seat filled up. I believe he played last Wednesday. He was our big winner last Wednesday, and he's back. So full table. We did start at 6 o'clock, 6-handed. But now we do have a full table, seat 3. It's going to be Jody. He was the winner. He was the big winner last Wednesday, so we're going to try to run it back tonight. And there will be a $6 straddle. The normal 1-3 here at the Texas Card House, Rio Grande Valley. The minimum buy-in's $100. This is a stream table, so it's also 1-3, but the minimum buy-in on this stream table is going to be $300. Jody first to act with the ace-3 offsuit. Queen 8 of clubs for Oscar. No, he does race to 20. And Doneto calls right behind with a better 8. Big Fish with the 9-10 of clubs won't make the call. Saw this earlier when he had the 5-6 of clubs. Does not want to see clubs, but he's probably not going to see a flop. As Prisa with the ace-king should make this at least 100. He's out of position. He should make this at least 80, probably 100. And he's making it more than 100. He's making it 135. That should clear everybody out. I thought somewhere between 80 and 100 was the right size, but a good rule of thumb, if you can't decide on the size, and just go bigger. Because sometimes somebody will think you're making a move. Or sometimes somebody will also have a hand behind you.
Yeah.
I've seen it happen a lot where you have the...
And then you go to the G League for the rest
Oh,
of your life.
it's exactly what I just said. When in doubt, just make it bigger because somebody still might call. And that's what's happening here as Oscar calling with the queen. 8 of clubs, and Big Fish is calling too. Somehow, some way, everybody has live cards. Nobody's sharing each other's cards. So that's kind of crazy, going 3 ways to the flop. And everybody with clean outs. With the exception of Big Fish, his clubs are not clean. So we're probably going to see an ace or a king of clubs on the flop. This pot has ballooned to almost $500. Is it 428? Is that just confirming? Yeah, so 428. 1-3 game here at Texas Card House, Rio Grande Valley. Hashtag RGV. Hashtag 956. So is anybody going to hit a pair? Oh, and Big Fish is going to lose some more chips here. He flops a flush draw. Oscar flopping top pair. Oh, is the ace king going all in? So that might say Big Fish because Oscar's definitely calling and also going all. No, Oscar just calls here, so that might bring Big Fish along. As it's $268 in the pot. The pot was $450. So Oscar flopping a monster here as he flops top pair with a flush draw. Big Fish, this is his 3rd buy-in. And he is confirming. Oh, I think Oscar went all in. Did he go all in or just call? It shows just the call button. Oh, Big Fish is going to call, and Big Fish needs to go runner, 9-10, or runner straight. Big Fish in terrible shape. Terrible shape. They are running it once. So one time, Big Fish needs a lot of help. 4% to win the flop, to win right now. So let's see. Yeah, he's has to go runner here. The ace or the king is still alive as long as it's not a club. Huge $1,200 pot. One time, they say.
I know he has top pair, so if I don't improve to a straight draw.
What? So what do you have?
So Big Fish might be drawn dead
When you're not listening,
on the turn.
I have top pair with the flush draw, top pair with the flush draw, and I have a backdoor straight draw.
I think they might run the side pot twice. I don't think they can do that. And I know this is Chino's first time in the box, so I'm not sure if he's aware. Or Big Fish changed his mind once he saw how bad of shape he was in. So once was announced, and then the players saw their hands, and then I think they might have changed their mind here. So Big Fish drawn dead. Looking for an ace or a king is Presa. Oh, yeah, so...
I mean, I asked before, but it's up to you. Yeah, look, if it was just you and I before, and he would say, I can't, because then you already want to have it.
Yeah, so Presa looking for an ace or a king that is not a club. And did not see what the river was, but it wasn't an ace or a king. It was a deuce of diamonds. So I think what happened there was that Oscar just called the all-in from Presa. It was a 262. He still had chips behind. It wasn't much. He still had chips behind, and Oscar thought that he was all in, so he exposed his hand. And when that happened, Big Fish saw that he was in horrible shape. So the turn came out. Big Fish checked. He was drawn dead. Oscar put in the rest of his chips, which was less than $100. And Big Fish folded because he knew he was drawn dead.
I just know he made it 29 calls.
Yeah, so they will change out the dealer after that huge $1,200 pot. And I believe we have Juanito in the box. Could always tell by the hairline. That is Juanito, yes. So Oscar exposing his cards early cost them about $100. As Big Fish saw his hand and saw he was drawn dead. And I believe C2 is rebuying. I thought he raised it too big with the ace-king, and he picked up 2 callers. Yeah, C2 is going to have to go to the ATM.
Is it Toby? That's your name? Jody? Oh, yeah, you got big blind Jody.
So that'll make Jody the big blind.
Yeah. Okay, so there's no C2. Yeah, he was buying.
They say he's almost as good as Wendy.
So 7's under the gun, coming in for the raise. It's a small raise, only $8. Ben will call with the Queen 9 offsuit. Doneto with the 10-9, he's probably calling. Looks like he's raising. Saw him do this earlier with 9-10 offsuit. Played it aggressively, did not work out for him that time. And the previous time he was against 7s as well. This time we got Cepeda calling out of the blind with the 5-6 of diamonds. Suited and connected. So Big Fish calling out of the small blind last hand with the small suited connectors. Now Cepeda's doing the same. And everybody's calling the $40 raise. So 4 ways to the flop we go. Over 160 in the middle, and it's going to come King, King, 4. Nobody with a king. It's probably going to go check around unless if Don Neto wants to represent. I think if Neto bets is going to be small. No, he says, all right, free card. 7 still out in front. And now we have 3 spades on the board. Ben with the Queen of Spades. He is going to take a shot at this. 85, so just over half pot, and this might work. Do the 7s get stubborn? He does have the 7 of spades. The king beats him. The 8 beats him. The spades beats him, so I think Ciso is going to fold. $85. He does have over 300 in his stack. I think he's more scared of the 8 and the flush than he is the king. But all those hands haven't beat. He finally makes the fold. It's a nice play there by Ben, taking the Queen 9 and taking down the $248 pot.
You got small blind. Jody?
Ben, the winner of the last hand, will put on the $6 straddle. As we're over an hour into tonight's stream, action will be on Everin. Jody is in the small blind. So Don Neto raising it here with the 9-4. And everybody calling. 5 ways to the flop, over $100 in the pot. It's going to be queen high, queen 7-6. 101 in the pot.
You're first. He's got the button. No, sir. 4 checks, 5 checks, 7 checks, 8 checks, and 1 check. 4 checks.
King coming on the turn. Cepeda taking the lead.
5 pence, 40.
Oh, did they pick already?
Yeah, they've been picking already, yeah.
So Ben betting his 6 open ender
Yeah, but the Hawks
for Sisto.
Hawks, Washington, Houston.
I feel like the Hawks have been in the lottery for
Yeah, no,
for like
So we are going 3 ways to the flop.
yeah, when Zion was they were also like
It's going to be a deuce. So the king of Zebeda will win, as he's going to go all in on the river, and nobody's going to call him. So don't forget, for you tournament players, we got the big one going on right now. It'll be going on all weekend. Flight Day 1A started on Monday. We've been doing 2 flights every day. There is a flight going on right now. Day 1F is going on right now. 2 flights tomorrow, one at 1 p.m., the other at 6 p.m. 2 flights on Friday, 2 flights on Saturday. $100 to enter, $10,000 for first place guaranteed, $25,000 prize pool. And keep in mind, as of right now, there is a projected overlay, which means the club is going to have to put in extra money, which means the players get more value. The tournament was already a very great value to begin with, where you could buy him for $100 and win $10,000. Now it's even better if indeed an overlay occurs.
See another French guy.
And 3 folds.
Ben with the jacks, raising it up. Nobody has anything to call him with.
Who you going with, Pete? Isaac?
Yeah, I'm gonna meet him over there. He's driving Eve tomorrow. He's driving.
So Oscar put it on the under the gun straddle.
saw that earlier, but
NBA draft going on right now. Atlanta Hawks with the first pick, picking a 19-year-old out of France. So back-to-back years, the #1 pick from France, as the Spurs are now on the clock.
You saw it earlier? Everett? You saw it earlier?
what?
The thing?
Yes, I saw it earlier.
You just took note of what part of it?
And I took note and then I marked it.
So under the gun straddle, Don Neto, the action will be on him. Seat 2, Presa.
Yeah. Clean it
But they're expensive.
He busted earlier with the ace-king. Not sure if he's going to rebuy, but they are holding the seat for him. As Don Neto with the 10-3. Is he going to call here? Yep. Queen Jack of Hearts just calling. Would have liked to see a raise, especially in the hijack. King 8 also making the call. Everin, another $3 for him. He'll complete. The 7s of Oscar should be raising here. And I kind of like probably about 50 here. How much is in the pot? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 30. So at least 40, maybe 50. He makes it 35, but sizing's too small. Maybe if he's in position, he's liking it, but he's out of position, so he's actually going to be first to act as Everett's going to be making the fold. So unless if he hits a 7, he's probably going to be checking. Oh, he hits a 7. And Zepeda has a jack. Let's see if he checks it here. Yes, he's going to trap. He's going to check it. Oh, Zepeda checks behind. So nice check from Zepeda. Heart. Oh, Zepeda with top 2 pair. So we should be seeing a big pot here as now the 7s are going to bet. There's $118 in the pot. And he's putting out a $60 bet. 75. Zepeda, does he raise? I think he should raise. Did he say all in? No, the action's on Zepeda. He's confirming the amount. And is he just calling? Wow. He's playing his hand very passive, but it's going to save him money. Now a full house for the 7s. I think he's just going to put Zepeda all in here. Zepeda has 261. There's 268 in the pot. Exactly a pot-sized bet. Oscar should be moving all in here.
That's all they said. They said the French guy.
Yeah, they didn't even know how to pronounce the name. The white French dude.
White, yeah.
No, Oscar just bets 100. Zepeda's going to have to call. He did go all in with King Queen earlier, with just top pair earlier, and now he's all in. He thinks he's good, and he's going to be shocked when he sees that he's not. So the money should have gone all in on the turn, but it goes all in on the river, and Oscar with the big pot, which will take him up to over $1,700.
Yeah.
So Zepeda getting cooler there
I don't even know how to pronounce it.
as he flopped top pair and then turn top 2, but he will be rebuying. So once again, for you tournament players, this is the tournament we're doing all week. We're doing this tournament right now, doing it tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday. $100 to enter. Only $100 to enter. $10,000 to first place guaranteed. $25K starting sack. You also get an early bird bonus of $5,000. An early bird bonus of $5,000 if you register on time before 1 p.m., before 6 p.m. $25K guaranteed prize pool. There is also a $1,000 bonus for the player who bags the most and a $1,000 bonus for the player who fires the most bullets. Top 8% advance to day 2. There will be no payouts on day 1 as everybody's trying to accumulate chips for the second and final day, Sunday, this Sunday, the 30th at 2 p.m. Looks like a $10 button straddle from Ben on the button.
That's what they are, bro. They're freaking.
They're like 6 folds. Yeah. Like versatile, like does every like that type of thing.
7 folds. I don't know if I
Guys
like it.
like Shaq or don't even exist anymore.
They're
They
not-
become like second round picks
Yeah.
now.
7 folds. The game doesn't cover that anymore.
Nah, they didn't. They'll be like
Don Neto calling the $10. He does have the highest VPIP. And we are going 5 ways to a flop. Everybody calling the $10 straddle.
it's also analytical like with the threes. It's kind of like
2 hearts, king high. Doneto flopping the best hand with the 9. And he's going to bet. Looks like just under half pot, puts out 25.
They would probably still shoot it.
Oh yeah, they're still gonna shoot it.
Does anybody have anything to call him with?
5 folds.
Doneto will take it down. El Jefe. Went to showdown. Oscar, the big winner so far tonight. He's gone to showdown the most. He was all in twice, so that helps. Big fish right behind, and Doneto also into 30%. 2 players have not gone to showdown. Not necessarily a bad thing. Looks like the Spurs picking up a point guard from UConn. Castle. The Rockets with the 3rd pick drafting a shooting guard from Kentucky, Shepherd. Who is this first point guard? Is it Jones? Is it Trey Jones? We are 3 hours directly south of San Antonio, so that's essentially the home team for us down here in the Rio Grande Valley. We are one of 4 streaming locations for Texas Card House, one of 6 overall locations. The original Texas Card House in the city of Austin, just northwest of the Capitol on 183 Research Boulevard. And then there's 2 locations in North Texas, one in Dallas, one next door in Irvin. 2 locations in Houston area, one north of Houston in Spring, and one by the Galleria on Westheimer. All right, Jody with the ace-jack, raising it up. And Big Fish defending his straddle. Queen, queen, 4. Big Fish will probably check. Jody will bet, and that should be the end of the hand. No, check, check. Jody hitting his ace now. Big Fish checks again. Jody has to bet now. And he does. So Jody representing Texas Tech. Guns up. Texas Tech in Lubbock, Texas. Considered essentially West Texas.
Like, they should have a conversation with them and tell them, like, hey, if you don't, like, start winning, we're gonna kick you out and bring some other team in.
You do like soccer where they have like tiers.
Oh yeah.
Like you can win the championship or like the B League championship.
Right.
And like the A League is like the
Don't forget about the 2-for-1 time this Friday. We will have the 2-for-1 time. It's always busy here on Fridays at Texas Card House. We do have the 2-for-1 time. There's also
I'm sure they're talking about
the
a Vegas team.
and then you can split the right.
the Big One tournament going on.
So basketball's coming probably. Now that the floodgates are open. More competitive too.
Oh, Alex R, the other French guy.
Other French guy.
Queen Jack of clubs for Jody. He's going to make it 20.
He's gonna suck.
Washington Bullets.
6 folds, 7 folds.
Doneto going to be calling with the King 6 offsuit.
I've never, not that I don't agree, but it's just an unfortunate situation for those good calls.
Not a great hand, but Doneto does like to see flops.
Yeah, but I mean, they make more
Yeah,
money.
but I mean,
It's just like
And Doneto's going to flop top pair, but he's going to get in trouble as Jody flops Jody flops a royal draw. He flops the nuts with the redraw to the nuts. Crazy flop for him. He should check behind here as he's smashed his flop, but he's going to bet a tiny amount, $20. That's going to bring Neto along as Neto has the king. We have actually had a royal flush on stream before.
that he's just saying, fuck you, you know,
Do we get another one? No, the board pairs with the 10.
wherever, you know, yeah, just gonna make all the money. Hope they don't have income tax, state income
Neto checks.
tax, about all you can do.
They still get fucked because every state they go to, they still have to
Oh yeah, it's taxes based.
And what is Jody going to do?
they gotta pay their taxes.
Yeah, the California games.
oh really?
Yeah, so like if you
I
try
didn't know that.
Jody with the royal draw might check it just to see if he hits the royal.
State tax on whatever, wherever you're at.
No, Jody's going to bet, and
no state income tax, all home games, and
it's going to be hard for Neto to call.
But you go play Cali with the Lakers, and you play Clippers, and you play the Kings, like a 3-game series or whatever. Every game that everything you made on each one of those games.
Neto's thinking about it, but he doesn't like the 10. He also doesn't like his kicker.
Nah, I'm there. I'll just go to the G League.
I thought Jody just might check to try to hit the royal, but Neto calls,
Interesting fact.
looking for an ace of clubs or an 8 of clubs for the straight flush, and it's going to be the 4. So Neto's probably going to check again, and Jody will put out another bet.
But the guys that get paid the most, you get passed.
Yeah.
As Jody with the straight. And Jody going all in. Going to be hard for Neto to call. Neto has top pair, and his kicker's not even playing, but Neto still calls. So Jody going to be showing him the monster hand.
Damn, and then the redraw to the Royal. And it's a free blood, yeah. Nice answer.
Thanks. I see you lose here, George. You're on hot. On a Tuesday. I come on Friday. I hope that continues. The run rate's still good. That's good.
Dos 97. 97.
Yeah, like.
Huge pot going Jody's way. Flopped the nuts with a redraw to the royal. Doesn't improve his hand, but gets paid off either way. So Jody, the big winner last Wednesday, and so far, the second biggest winner tonight, as Oscar in over $1,000, Jody up $432, Ben up $300. It's showing Everin in the red, but I do not think that is correct,
Yeah, bro. Like,
as Everin has won a lot of big pots.
yeah, I saw that.
I'm sure there's gonna be some trades right now. I probably better work out.
Jody will put the under the gun straddle on. Don Neto will have to rebuy as he just lost.
Bro, every time
The
he
previous
wins a
pot.
championship, he just wants to win a championship.
So I think we played one hand 9-handed, and we haven't been 9-handed since, as seat 2 did not rebuy, and we'll see if Don Neto rebuys. Pocket tens for Everin.
I mean, he's a really good basketball player, but he was.
Looks like he's going to make it 40.
That's when he made his name.
Makes it 50. That's a big raise. There was a $6 straddle. One person calling the straddle. And looks like everybody's going to fold.
I'm sorry, $4.
Like, like the A&M coach, the A&M coach lost the fucking World Series, and he's just laying
We're gonna get rid of that game.
Oh, I saw that.
coach.
I saw that.
A&M's big fuck draft pick.
Really?
The AD is him and the AD actually he fired the staff without even telling him. So it was already bad blood. Like the deal was already done before.
So going on right now, going on this weekend, make sure you join us for the big one, $25,000 guaranteed, $100, only $100 to enter, $10,000 for first guaranteed, $25K started stack. Blinds go up every 20 minutes. Top 8% do come back for day 2. 4 hours of late registration.
Oh, not really, because there was a big hand.
So no straddle this hand, as action will fold to Everin with the king deuce.
Here's my $3.
6 folds, 7 folds,
Big Fish raising his button,
15, 1 folds.
makes it 15. And looks like Jody will be calling him with the king 9. Heads up to a flop we go. Jody flopping a middle pair. Big Fish flopping air. Check, check. Big Fish turning a straight draw. Needs a 6 for a straight. Jody checks again. Big Fish puts out $15. Jody calls him. 8 coming on the river. That's going to give Big Fish a pair. Jody's 9s are better. Big Fish is going to put out a value bet here, thinking he has the best hand. But he's going to see the bad news. Big Fish going for thin value, but it turns out that he was value owning himself.
But yeah, they always lie. Yeah, pretty sure. It's like quarterbacks. They're Murray. He's not 5'11".
So I was talking earlier that the World Series of Poker is going on right now. I will be driving out there tomorrow. So normally I do the commentating. John Dre, the Cajun Asian, will be doing the commentating on Friday on the TCH Live channel. So last week was unofficially Seniors Week at the World Series, as all the different card rooms around town were running senior tournaments, and the World Series of Poker running the big senior tournament. But there were other card rooms. The Golden Nugget does have a series, and they had a senior event. The Orleans, the Aria. And then this week is Ladies Week, unofficially, as the ladies event for the World Series of Poker is this weekend. The reason why I mentioned that is because there was a ladies event held at the Wynn.
It didn't happen already. It's not going to happen now.
Oh, we got trips for Ben. This was a straddled pot. Top pair. The heart comes, so that's going to save Cecil some money, I think. They're not going to go too crazy. 10 coming on the river. So that ace of hearts, real good card for seat 4. Cecil, as he thought he had the best hand. And like I said, he's going to save money, losing to the trips there. But as I said, the reason why I mentioned that is there was a ladies event at the Wynn where they chopped it 15 ways. It was a 15-way ICM chop. And I know a lot of people on social media were commenting. Some thought it was really cool. Some thought it wasn't. Let us know what you think in the YouTube comments. So let us know what you think in the YouTube comments about the 15-way chop. 15-way chop, tournament chop at the Wynn, women's tournament. I really don't think there's a wrong answer. I could see both sides of the argument. Ben with the ace-10 of diamonds should be raising here. There is a $7 button straddle from Jody, and Ben's going to bump it up to 35. Oh, Zabella with the queens should be 3-betting here. Is he just going to call? Yeah, he should be 3-betting. 1, he has a strong hand, and 2, you want to get rid of the straddler. You can see Jody's calling with the 9 deuce. He does have position. That's why he's making this call. He feels like he could outplay his opponents if they check to him. It's going to be hard for him to win this hand. Not impossible. Oh, top set versus flush draw. There will be blood. Ben with a flush draw and a backdoor straight draw, and it's going to go check, check. Oh, Ben's hitting his ace. Ben thinks he wants to see that card, but he does not. Let's see if Cepeda raises here. He's been very coy on the flop and on the turn. He had top 2 last time and just called. And I think he's going to do the same again. So last time he went all in on the river. We'll see what he does this time. Ben's still looking for a 10. Excuse me, a diamond. A diamond. It's going to be a 7, so a full house. Ben is going to call on the mount. Is Ben going to bet here? All right, Ben's getting raised. And I think this is where Cepeda is going to go all in. So Cepeda with the boat. Did he just call? Oh, yes, he did raise it to 90. Yeah, so Cepeda min raised it, and the dealer just verifying that it was a min raise. Ben showed his cards, thinking that he had just called. That's the second time we see a player expose their hand early. There's a lot going on at the table, and sometimes players forget about the action, and that's what happened there. So Ben bet 90 on the river. Cepeda min raised him, made it 90 more. Ben thought he called, showed his cards. The dealer said, hey, he raised it. And Ben thought that they were chopping. I'm sure Ben thought that Cepeda also had an ace and they were chopping. The double straddle from Big Fish coming on. $6 straddle under the gun. Big Fish making it 15.
Played that so passively.
And Ben actually just making that comment right now that Cepeda played that hand super passively, where he could have doubled up if he would have played his hand a little bit faster. But once again, everybody's an expert after the hand, and especially us being able to see the cards. Very easy to say what the players should do when you see the cards. Although I try to be fair. When Cepeda had the queen jack, he turned top 2 pair against the set. I thought he should have gone all in right then and there, even though he was beat. But the way the hand played. And Big Fish making the call. This is a double straddle. Ben raising with the queen 8 of clubs. Big Fish losing a big pot against the queen 8 earlier. And Ben will flop top pair. Big Fish will flop a straight draw. His king is also live here. Did Big Fish just rip it? Yeah, Big Fish going all in here with his straight draw. And Ben makes the call. A 10. Big Fish looking for a king. Does not hit. And I think that's going to do it for Big Fish, as he got unlucky earlier and tried to make back his money. He tried to make back his money. Just played a little too aggressive after he lost that first buy-in. So yeah, like I said, let us know what you think about the 15-way chop in the YouTube comments. There was a ladies event held at the Wynn, and they did a 15-way chop. Like I said, me personally, I can see both sides of the argument. All right, we do have a little action on the chat. Oh, they're asking about me. What are you playing in Vegas, Isaac? I'm playing the mini main for sure, as that is a $1,000 tournament. It has the same structure as the main event, but instead of 2-hour blind levels, they're 30-minute blind levels. But I'm playing that tournament. I'll probably play at least 1 or 2 satellites to try to get into the main. And probably another another event. I believe there's an ultra stack, 600 to enter, and a 60K starting stack. So I think
Stories of boxing or what teaching?
those are the two World Series events I'm playing for sure: the mini main and the ultra. And then there's a ton of events going on around town. I know the Win has a good series going on. Aria has a good series, so I will probably play something else. But the two World Series events going to be the mini main for sure, and the ultra also will play maybe one or two satellites to try to get into the main event. So I believe we're down to 6 players. The way we started, we started off with 6 players. We filled up the table, and then players busted, and then a rebuy. So we are six-handed.
He told me a little bit. I asked him. Yeah, he told me. I asked him like, why you call you champ, sir? Like, and he gave me a quick backstory.
Started when he was like 22, I think.
Yeah, sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why he told me the CEO
King, queen, 3, 2 hearts.
7 chips.
That's about it.
8 chips.
Yeah, but he said he's like if he had started earlier, he would have been the first Latino heavyweight champion.
Wasn't that guy?
Ruiz.
Eric.
So it looks like Ben's going to take down the pot.
It's Eric Molina.
So we are playing six-handed, and there's a lot of tournaments that are 6 max.
Lost the next fight or some shit like that.
Staples or Joshua?
A lot of tournament players like to play six-handed, and the reason why is that there's a lot more action six-handed, where you see players taking hands that aren't necessarily premium and playing them like their premium hands, just because the blinds come around so much. So this is six-handed. There is a strategy with your ranges when you're playing 9-handed, 10-handed. Your ranges will be a little tighter as opposed to when you play short-handed like six-handed. Like if you have Queen Jack offsuit, that's basically considered Ace King in a normal ring game.
I got a 21, I have an 18 or a special needs, and then I have a 16, could be 17, and a 9-year-old.
Okay, because the 9-year-old boy from well, it's called State Champ set up, he did their Parks and Rec in Edinburg, bro, they set up like a top tier box.
I see. Is that the one at the Viper one?
Yes, yeah, that's Champ set all that.
Oh, really?
What's funny is this.
So pre-flop raising,
The kids, because I've been there.
Ben and Everin at 20%.
Have no idea how like rough regular kids have it. I mean, it is like a top notch box.
Cepeda,
Kids like
he's played the most passive. I believe this is his first time on the stream as well, so that's understandable. And that just might be his playing style as well.
Oh, really? That's good, man. He brings,
No straddle this hand, as action will be under the gun, and I don't think he's there. No, he's not there. Would have had 7s. Ben with the 7-4 suited puts the horseshoe on the cards, and he's going to be raising. Should be at least 15. Raises 15. Nice size raise.
yeah, I met with him last time I was out there.
Hey, he's fucking awesome. I love it.
It really doesn't matter what your cards are when you're raising. Now, when you call a raise, then that's a different story. Then that's where it becomes a little different. And ever going to be put on a 3-bet. He don't know what his hand is, but it's going to be at least king queen suited. It's the minimum, and it's ace king. So Everin bumps it up, goes from 15 to 50. 15 to 15 would be a good size raise. Let's see what he 3-bet to. It's either 50 or 60. Oh, Jody with the ace queen just calls, and it was a $50 raise.
Today here in Edinburg, that was like the nicer pool. South
Ben hit into 7 right on the flop.
Bay will go to
They will check in flow to Everin. Everin with the ace of diamonds will check behind. 5 of spades coming on the turn. Ben should be betting here if it's checked to him. And he's probably going to bet about 75 or 80. 75 or 80. No, he bets 100.
5 makes it.
And that should end the hand unless if Jody gets sticky. You can see Everin is kind of disgusted there as he had the ace king, very strong hand pre-flop, but it sometimes misses the flop and you got to fold. Like I said, Jody might get stubborn here with the ace queen. No, he does not. So Ben shows the 7.
Some of the big inner cities where they have a lot of crime, they do. I mean, they don't have an Edinburg, but they do those midnight leagues for kids off the street. And I mean, just think about it, your kids. You're hooping from like 8 to 10 in the morning. You think you're gonna go do shit? You're tired as shit.
Yeah.
You're gonna go pick up a freaking,
Waterburger.
and you're gonna go to bed. You're so tired. Yeah.
The aggression factor. Ben and Everin on the top of there as the dealer will scramble the cards.
Safer than
And if they get fundraisers or sponsors, they can do hot dogs for the kids. You know, so they like, hey, before y'all leave, get a hot dog. You know.
Yeah, you do it once a week, bro. That's one day out of the week. You go like on a Thursday.
So far, no comments in the YouTube chat about the 15-way chop in the ladies tournament. Like I said, I could see both sides of it. I actually have a funny story that I will tell after this hand.
5 is strategy for 6.
$6 under the gun straddle from Ben. Action on Everin with the 8 deuce. We'll put that into muck. Oscar next to act. Also mucks. And Cepeda, we see that he's been very passive and he will continue on with that passive line, just calling the ace queen. Ben might be raising here. As a matter of fact, he should be raising here. Everybody limps. You have an ace, you're raising to 30? 30 more? Yeah, he makes it 40. So this is a good size raise for Ben. It's the right raise. Nobody is ever supposed to have ace queen in this spot unless if your name is Cepeda with a Z. Jody even calling with the queen 9 offsuit.
Damn, 2 a day?
So Jody out of position will be first to act with the worst hand. And Jody will flop a straight draw. Needs a 10 for a straight. Looks like it's going to go check around, and it will. King coming on the turn. It might go check around again. The King of Hearts, also known as the Suicide King. Also, it's the only king without a mustache. All right, Cepeda now has a straight draw, and he's going to put out a small bet. Jody going to be folding, and Ben makes the call with ace high, thinking that his ace is live, but it's not. So Ben looking for a deuce. Think it's going to go check, check. Ben checking for sure. Cepeda. Cepeda bet at 75. So Cepeda doesn't seem to get aggressive until the river, as that's about the 3rd time he's made an aggressive bet on the river. All right, so quick story. One time I was playing a tournament, just a small tournament, nothing crazy, at a casino in Louisiana, and I was chip leading. It paid 3 spots, and you always seem to have that one person at the table who always tries to chop. So they started asking when we got to the final table, when we were 9-handed, do you want to chop? I said no. So every time a player eliminated, they asked me if I wanted to chop. I kept saying no. So we're 4-handed. I want to say first place paid like 1,000. Second place and third place paid. Fourth place did not pay. So we're playing 4-handed, and they once again asked me, do you want to chop? Do you want to give something to fourth? I'm all like, no, I'm not. Nope, nothing. So we play a couple of hands, and the other 3 players, they said, hey, we talked to each other. We're going to give you first place money, and we're going to chop second and third place money between the 3 of us. Do you want to do that? And obviously I said yes. I mean, they're giving me first place without having to play for it. So I did take that chop. That was a very good chop. That was a very good deal. One of those offers you couldn't refuse. All right, so straight draw versus a flush draw.
Buried to my daughter. I did to my son.
Flush draw going to be betting to 15. Jody going to be calling.
My daughter sees the customer check on it, and my little ones and everything.
Jack of clubs. Oh, the clubs gets there.
That's mine. I love that saying.
So Cecil should bet again, maybe like 25. Jody can't call him with just queen high.
They woke up this morning. They did it yesterday. They woke up this morning. They went to the bio for an hour. They did deep conditioning. And then they ate lunch, came home, chilled. And they went to go practice volleyball from 1:30 to 3. Came home, chilled. My oldest.
Oh, he's going to bet the pot size bet of 55, hoping his opponent has an ace or a king, but does not.
From 5 to 7. And they like this, like, every day.
Yeah, so I once chopped a tournament four-handed where they gave me first place money. And I've gone and chopped tournaments where we all get an even amount of money. It just all depends on the situation. All right, we have a $6 straddle coming from Cecil, as he did win last hand. You can see the VPIP. Oscar the lowest, but he's at 26%, so that's still over a quarter of the time. And it looks like the under the gun has priority, so they will take back the button straddle. They're letting him know that under the gun has priority. That's what's happening there. So action will be on seat 1, Zebeda.
Some issue happened with somebody else.
Just for the stream, or was it out there too?
Yes, 7 strategy. Oh,
Just for the stream, was it out there too?
no, it was just for the stream.
5-3 will go into the muck. See what Jody has. Jody with the ace-5. Is he going to raise or just call? Just calls. Ben putting in the raise. See what Ben has. Ben with the 8-5, the ocho cinco. Kind of wanted to see a bigger raise since there was a straddle involved. Probably wanted to see at least 36 there, and you could see he's going to get a call by the king jack offsuit and by the ace. Ben does not want to hit a 5, as Jody has the best 5, the ace 5. Action on Ben, 8-5 of diamonds, ace in the window. So Ben, the initial raiser, is the only player who doesn't hit a pair. Oh, Jody's going to...
So where we're going, everybody's a visual game. When the first card gets out, just for the line. The first card that comes out, it's whoever has it out first. Yeah, it's just for the line. You hear? It's
Jody's finally going to bet his ace. Everett might call him. Everett has a jack here. And Everett does call him. Everett also has a straight draw. Everett has king jack. So Everett needs a jack or a 10. Also a king works. And it's going to be an ace. So trips for Jody. Everett did call the $30 on the turn. And now Jody's betting 50 on the river. The queen does beat the jack, so I think Everett might fold. He is getting a good price. It's only a $50 bet. So good price for Everett here. Can he get away? Jody only bet him 50 with his trip aces. If the queen wasn't on the board, Everett would have already called. And that's what's making Everett think here. And Everett does make the call and sees the bad news. Good luck, bro. Thank you. All right. 15-way shop is ridiculous. I mean, if I'm 15th and super short stack, then yeah. But come on, man. Like I said, I mean, he says that it's ridiculous, but at the same time, he says if he's 15th and short stack, they're offering him a deal. Of course, you're going to take the deal if you're short stack. And I think I read one time that there was like a tournament chop 27 ways one time. Some people love chopping, some people hate chopping, and
I know it's normal. You never liked
at least myself personally, the situation, it depends on the situation. It depends on the situation. Sometimes with like some of these turbo tournaments, everybody's like super shallow. You're like 5-handed, and the average stack is like less than 10 big blinds. So uh, even if you know you're the better player, the blinds are just so high that sometimes you should chop. All right, got a limp fest.
Do you want to complain on it?
Queen high flop. Queen 9-6. Nobody with a queen. And Jody's gonna take a stab at it with his open-ended straight draw. Needs a 10, needs a 5. And nobody really has anything to call him with.
We can straddle whenever we want and shit.
Small $15 bet.
6 folds, 7 folds.
That still doesn't change what anybody has in their hand.
1 calls.
Oh, gut shot for Cepeda. Needs a 10. So Jody hits a pair of 7s.
1 checks, 3 checks.
And Jody will win with the pair of 7s.
No, they took it. Damn.
If you're just joining us tonight, welcome to the Texas Card House, Rio Grande Valley. We are located in South Texas. The area down here is known as the Rio Grande Valley. We are in the city of Edinburg, right next to the city of McAllen. Also down here in this area, we got Brownsville, South Padre Island. And this weekend right now, we do have the 25K big one going on, 10K for first, 25K start and stack. There's a flight going on right now. Thursday there's 2 flights. Friday there's 2 flights. Saturday we are projected to have an overlay, which is bad for us, good for you, good for the players. All right, Jody with the $6 straddle. Fold it to Ben. Ben's been the most aggressive. He has the king 4. He's going to be coming in for a raise, making it 20. Oscar with the 10s should be putting on the 3-bet here. I think he knows it, but he doesn't want to. He knows he should be 3-betting, but he does not. And that's going to bring along the ace-queen of Cepeda. So, Ben, your initial raiser has, I was going to say he has the worst hand, but Jody has the worst hand. Ace, queen, king. 8 high flop. Good flop for the 10s, but he checks it. Straight draw for Ben and a backdoor flush draw. Ben's going to put out a small bet here. There's $80 in the pot, and it looks like he's betting 30. Do the 10s check raise here? There's 2 diamonds on the flop. Or the 10s continue to call. Cepeda's going to call with the ace-queen. His hand is too strong to fold to 1 bet. And Jody might call, just closing the action. No, Cepeda does fold. All right, so heads up we go. Ben looking for a heart, a 6, a king. And it's going to be a 5. Ace of hearts going to...
King high?
So the 10s will make the win. We'll get the win. So Cepeda would have called with the ace-queen. He would have got there on the river, but like I said, everybody's an expert when they see the hands. All right, pre-flop raising. Ben has been the most aggressive. Ben has been the most aggressive. And I don't know if we have a straddle here or not. We are in hand 43 of tonight's stream.
Hey, coach, you're probably thinking like, shit, we should go recruit players to freaking France.
Yeah, bro.
That's what I would do.
So under the gun is going to be the ace-8 offsuit.
And some of those guys are like, yeah,
Ben probably going to be raising. He's been the most aggressive player. No, he just calls. He lost last hand. So a little gun shy there. Will Everin raise? Nope. Cepeda calling with the 9 deuce, calling the extra $2. So we do have a limped pot. 5 ways to the flop we go, 15 in the middle. Action on the small blind. Cepeda will flop a deuce. Jody also flopping a deuce. And it looks like it's going to go check around.
I don't think so, dude.
they obviously want to name it.
Is Ben taking a shot at this? Ben taking a shot, but Everin has the queen. Cepeda calling, Jody calling. So Ben looking for a king to take the lead. Everin leading right now with the queen. Burn is down. So the burn is down. Just making sure that all the graphics are in there right. Graphics catching up to the play. Queen coming on the turn. That's going to give Everin trips.
We're gonna have lots of game, bro. Imagine that.
You know that there's a direct flight to France now from San Antonio.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were worried, bro, that they want to put another team. Like, they're direct flight from direct flight, yes. When they have a out of Austin, they have the red eye to the UK. Yeah,
Hand 44 from tonight's stream. Dealers change out every 2 hours, so Juan has a couple more hands to go. Juanito, a couple more hands. $6 button straddle from Cepeda. Action will be on Jody.
It's like John is like
Ace 5 offsuit. We'll make the call.
but not when they love his ass, you know, like yeah, he's a great never wanted him.
Cepeda raising with the 3 deuce.
That guard from.
Taking a page from Big Fish's book.
They already got that guy. That guy already got shot.
So the 3 deuce, kind of made famous at the World Series of Poker, the Dirty Diaper.
Yeah, but the guard from
It's always been famous in Reno. It's been known as the Skinny in Reno. And he will flop a pair with a straight draw. Let's see if Cepeda bets it. He's been pretty passive up until this point. And now he gets aggressive, and the aggression's going to work.
Well, they haven't done shit.
All right, these are the winners so far tonight. We do have Oscar up over 1,000, Jody up 400, Ben up 200, Cepeda up 57. It's showing Everin is down, but I'm pretty sure one of the rebuys that Big Fish did, they subtracted it from Everin. So Big Fish in for 3 buy-ins. You don't see him on the screen. Doneto in for a buy-in. You don't see him. You have Prisa at seat 2 also in for a buy-in. So that's why the numbers don't add up. If you just add up the numbers, it's less than $400 that the players are down, and the players that are up over 2,000. But the reason why is because of that.
The action is on seat 4, 4 folds, 5 makes it.
Do you want to say anything? No. Okay.
6 calls, 7 folds, 1 fold.
Pocket deuces for Everin. He makes the call. As Ben has been the most aggressive, had the ace deuce, raised it up. And he actually has the worst hand right now. He cannot hit a deuce and cannot hit an ace. His hearts are live, though. He is first to act. And the flop will come Queen, Jack 5. It looks like it's going to go check around. 10 coming on the turn. And Ben will take a shot at it, and it's probably going to work. Jody does have a pair of 5s and a straight draw. Jody needs a king for a straight, but it looks like he's going to fold. Yeah, so Ben winning with just aggression there.
It's too much.
All right, looks like they're going to change out dealers. $6 straddle under the gun. Don't forget this weekend, going on right now, there will be 2 flights tomorrow, 2 flights on Friday, 2 flights on Saturday. First flight starting at 1 p.m., the next flight starting at 6 p.m. $100 buy-in, $10,000 for first guaranteed. There's also a $1,000 bonus if you bag the most. All right, so it looks like we got Chino back in the box. I've actually had Chino tell me that I'm his favorite player. I know that players have favorite dealers. Like when somebody's dealing, you tend to win. So yeah, players have favorite dealers, which means dealers have favorite players. And Chino has told me on numerous occasions that I'm his favorite player. So thank you, Chino. All right, so $6 straddle under the gun coming from Oscar. Action will be on seat 1. Zebeda, AC Ducey. Still haven't figured him out. He started off very passive, and he's gotten aggressive lately. Jody will be making the call with the suited king. It's $6, Jody. It's $6. There you go.
Should I call you Mr. Harlingen or Raincoat? I like Raincoat. Okay, yeah, I like that too. I think I'll call you Raincoat. No.
So Everin completing the call. Oscar checking his option.
I like that though. It's so bad.
Pocket 9's only calling from the button.
Come out though now.
And the flop will come ace high. Nobody with an ace. Nobody with clubs. Pocket 9 still in the lead. Ben has a 7. I think Ben's going to bet here if it's a small card. Yeah, Ben's going to bet as he does have the 7 and he does have a flush draw. Yeah, there goes Ben's bet. It is, looks like $25. No, 30. 30 into 30. So a pot-sized bet from Ben, and that's going to get it done. And looks like we lost the player here. So the game might break. Yeah, and I've just been told that the stream, that the game is breaking. There's only 5 players, which is why normally on the tournaments it's 6 max. But it looks like the game's going to end early tonight. So thank you for joining us, but we are going to be ending the stream early. We will be with you Friday, 2-5 action. Friday, 2-5 action.